What unforeseen alliance might form against the architects of thought? The architects of thought, the enigmatic and powerful entities that guide and control the realms of consciousness, knowledge, and perception, have long been the invisible rulers of reality's underlying structure. Their influence stretches deep into the fabric of existence, shaping how beings perceive themselves, the universe, and even the very nature of reality itself. But as with all powers, there is always the possibility of a challenge, an uprising against the architects of such thought-based dominion. This question invites us to explore what unforeseen alliances might form in a bid to disrupt, resist, or even overthrow these entities who control the flow of knowledge, understanding, and perception. 1. The first rebels, the forgotten minds. One of the most fascinating and unpredictable alliances could be formed by the forgotten or overlooked minds of the universe, those who have long been ignored or dismissed by the architects of thought. These individuals, typically considered insignificant, unimportant, or even insane by conventional standards, possess something the architects lack: the raw, unstructured potential of pure thought, unconstrained by the rigid frameworks of the architect's designs. They are the dreamers, the eccentrics, the misunderstood visionaries, those who, in their deep detachment from societal norms and the correct forms of thought, have tapped into a form of consciousness that lies outside the architect's control. For centuries, these forgotten minds have existed in the fringes, quietly building networks of alternative thought systems, disconnected from the hegemonic ideals of the architects. Over time, they may begin to recognize their shared struggle and form a coalition, an alliance of creative thinkers, philosophers, artists, and mystics united by the belief that thought, in its purest form, is free and should not be governed. This alliance would be rooted in the desire to return thought to its primal state, before it was shaped and manipulated into something rigid and controllable. The forgotten minds might tap into ancient forms of knowledge, intuitive wisdom, and chaos theory, embracing the wild, unpredictable, and unstructured nature of human consciousness. This rebellion would be less about defeating the architects physically and more about disrupting their dominion over the flow of thoughts and perceptions by restoring chaos to the order they have meticulously imposed. Underscore 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 underscore. 2. The shadow collectors, the keepers of hidden knowledge. Another potential alliance against the architects of thought could come from those who have long been on the fringes of existence, beings who collect and guard knowledge that the architects have intentionally hidden or suppressed. These shadowy figures, known as the keepers of hidden knowledge, might consist of forgotten civilizations, rogue scholars, or even ancient deities that once had a role in shaping the world's laws of thought and reality but were cast aside as the architect's power grew. These entities have always existed in the shadows, working in secrecy, accumulating forbidden knowledge that could potentially unravel the carefully constructed fabric the architects have woven. They understand that knowledge is power, but it is also a weapon, one that could destabilize the architect's control. They have long resisted being fully known or discovered, staying hidden for fear of being erased from history by the architects. However, in an unexpected twist, they may see the threat of the architect's unchallenged rule as a danger to their own survival and, out of necessity, form a secretive alliance with others who oppose the architect's reign. What these keepers offer is a treasure trove of knowledge that the architects fear, for it contains truths that would shatter the illusion of control they built. The keepers possess the lost manuscripts, ancient texts, and forgotten secrets that can reveal the cracks in the fabric of reality. They understand that to challenge the architects effectively, they must first free these hidden truths, offering them to the rebels and revolutionaries who are ready to face the unknown. 4. The return of the outsiders, the elders of chaos. Finally, perhaps the most shocking and powerful alliance would come from the elders of chaos, beings that predate even the architects themselves. These entities are so ancient that they are often regarded as myth, and their existence has been erased from most forms of reality. They are the original creators of thought and consciousness, the entities who shaped the first sparks of awareness before the architects took control. These beings represent chaos in its purest form, unstructured, unpredictable, and wild. For eons, the elders have remained dormant, watching as the architects sought to impose their order on the multiverse. However, they were never fully destroyed. In the depths of forgotten realities, in the spaces between worlds, the elders of chaos still slumber, their immense power dormant but not extinguished. If the rebellion against the architects grows strong enough, these elders may awaken, sensing the disturbance in the natural flow of existence. Their awakening would be a cataclysmic event, one that would tear apart the foundations of the architects' carefully constructed dominion over thought. The elders do not care for structure or order, they care only for the primal essence of existence, the free flow of creation and chaos. Their involvement in the alliance could shatter the status quo, unleashing a wave of transformation and reorganization that the architects would be powerless to stop. Conclusion: the unexpected reversal. The rebellion against the architects of thought would be as unpredictable as it is revolutionary. From the forgotten minds who resist control to the shadowy keepers of hidden knowledge, the quantum beings outside of time, and the awakening elders of chaos, the forces aligned against the architects are anything but conventional. Each faction possesses unique strengths that could not only challenge the architect's grip on reality but also create a new paradigm for understanding the universe and the nature of consciousness. Ultimately, the unforeseen alliance that forms against the architects would not be one of simple warfare or brute force, but of knowledge, chaos, and the reclamation of what was once free. It would be a union of minds, realities, and forces that defy the architect's limitations, a new way of thinking and being that transcends the very constructs the architects sought to impose. In the end, the architects of thought might find themselves overwhelmed by the very forces they once sought to control.